As I started studying music at the age of 4, I wanted to be a concert pianist. And then when my cousin Charles Burrell came to Denver to desegregate the Denver Symphony in 1949, I was 8 years old. And then the deal was sealed when Charles came. I knew that I wanted a career path in music, some kind of way. I started playing for my church when I was 7. I started playing for the children's choir. And when I was 10, was adept enough to play for the adult choir. And then when I was at 11 years old, I had a growth spurt and I could reach the pedal board, so that's when I started studying the organ, and I became the assistant church organist. Well, I auditioned to go to Juilliard, and that year Juilliard very magnanimously accepted 4, quote, Negro students nationally. So we had to audition, and I went to the big, I guess it was the Midwestern regionals, and I was placed on the alternate list. I was a second alternate to go to Juilliard in case one of the other 4 didn't. Well, that didn't happen. So I announced very firmly and very stoically to my mother that I was going to go to New York City and I was going to wait tables and I was going to audition until I got to Juilliard. And she said, "You're going to take your little round brown body up to University of Colorado in Boulder where you have scholarships and you will get your education." Well, I approached Dr. He was the dean of the College of Music. He said, "Negroes don't perform classical music." I said, "Well, my cousin Charles did." And I went on to tell him that Charles was on his way to San Francisco, and he swiveled his head around and said, "We let him in and there'll never be another." So there went my career in music at the University of Colorado, and I just respectfully said to him, "Well, I think it's very self-evident that the University of Colorado music program does not want me." So I ended up studying history and not getting a degree, but I did perform. But it was just, it was as an extracurricular activity, but not as a full academically accepted activity. So then thereafter, I went and got a job in 1963. I got a job in Denver with the Denver District Court. Then I got drafted. And then I went to Europe and was able to entertain with a very special group, a very elite group in the United States Army. We were known as the weltbekannten 7. US-Armee Soldatenkorps aus Heidelberg, the world-famous 7th Army Soldiers Chorus from Heidelberg. There were 28 of us. We performed at NATO headquarters, and it brought tears to our eyes because the NATO commander then was General Lyman Limnitzer, who at that time was the only Jewish general in the United States Army. And he requested that we perform. And I think my proudest moment of being an American was being there with our dunes, our backs to the dunes right there, singing with our voices resonating as we looked over 1/3 crosses at the cemetery. We knew that we could fight for freedom. It took me many years to recognize. I wrestled with God wanting to know why I was put on this earth and what my mission on this earth is. And somebody finally said, "It's your gift of music." The beauty of music and how it breaks down barriers, cultural. I've been in places where I couldn't speak the language, but whereby the music brought everybody together as kindred spirits. And, when I leave this earth, I just want to have somebody put on my headstone, "Here was a man who loved music and who loved people."